So I've unmuted my microphone this week, so we can go ahead and jump right in. Hello, happy Thursday. Hope everyone's having a great week so far. Looking forward to the weekend. I'm Sean Miller, Hipster Viz Ninja, and we are gonna do Workout Wednesday live. So this is week 15. We're gonna do a filter challenge from Erica. It's gonna be good. And so hopefully everyone's having a great week and ready to get started. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. So yes, Erica mentioned in the blog post that last week was tough. Definitely got that impression from the community as well. Tougher than normal, I would say. But a great week. I did that walkthrough last week on Friday. It was a great challenge. Go back and check that out if you haven't already. But this week, we're going to be talking a lot about the Tableau order of operations and basically working to make sure that all of our filters are working properly. So lots of interactivity, lots of filtering, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it here. Let me turn on my do not disturb so that we don't get any interruptions. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at what we're going to be dealing with. So we've got a nice dashboard here, 4 sheets, she said, and we've got a map of each state with circles as the total sales for each state, colored by region. And whenever we select a region, Tableau refreshes. Not really, but that's what it does. So when we select a region, we see that region. And when we do that, it also filters down the top 10 subcategories and the top 10 customers by sales. And also, when we select a state, it will also filter down to that state. Now, let's see if there's what other types of filtering we have going on here. We've got... All right, so no filtering on subcategories, no filtering on that, and our only tooltips are going to be in, okay, so we've got tooltips, we've got the category as well as the subcategory, and then we just have the state and sales, and then we don't have any, but we've got total sales, the last sales amount, and the days since last purchase. Cool. All right. So let's go ahead and dive right in. We are going to be using the Superstore data set, so we'll go ahead and fire that up. There we go. All right, so we need 4 sheets. So let's go ahead and we'll say this is the legend. This is the map. This is subcat. And this is customer. So just going ahead and creating my sheets. So when we do this, we'll be all ready to go. All right, so region. This is going to be in our location hierarchy. We'll drag that out to columns. We'll also take region and we'll drop that onto text and onto color. One thing I'm going to do real quick is a really nice feature in Tableau. You can I only want to set my colors one time. I want to set it and forget it, if you will. So what you can do, you can right click on a dimension, go down to default properties, go down to color, and from here you can set your default colors. And now anytime I throw this dimension on color, it will always be the same. So let's go see. So we've got this purple, orange, yellow, and blue. And central is orange. East is blue. South is kind of this gold color. West is purple. Okay. Click apply. Now it's not quite what I wanted. It's a text mark right now. We'll go ahead and change that to a square. Increase the size, but that's not really, see how the sizes are kind of getting jacked up right there. So what we can do is we can add an empty text field, and then we can bring that, let's see, come on here. We'll do size, we'll do region, send alignment centered. There we go. So I didn't need that there. So you can see here, if we do that again. So right now, when I try to do the size thing, you can see how it doesn't quite fill up all the space. So if I go back to my normal square and I add this empty text in here, it now adds it adds a layer, right? It adds a layer to our columns. So now it kind of adds borders. So now if I go all the way up, now they're filling the entire space. Now I can just uncheck show header for region and my empty text. I also don't need any tooltips here, so we'll go ahead and turn off our tooltips. And that's all that we're going to do for that. Let's see. Next, let's do our map. So we've got a state map. So state on detail. Change our mark type to a filled map. And actually, so we need so let's see. A couple different ways we can do this. Let's just go through this real quick. Then what we'll do is we'll take region, we'll put it on color. Looks like she's got the opacity drop down significantly here. So if we take a look, yeah, so we've got that. We've got white borders. So color, borders, white. And then we need to right click anywhere in the map area to get our map background layers. And we're just going to turn everything off. Just like that. All right. And while we're here, we'll also do some formatting. So we'll right click in the ocean and the Pacific Ocean. We'll go up here to maps. So we'll also turn off our borders. So our row dividers and column dividers, we'll turn that off as well. Now what we need to do is we need to add state as a, yeah, let's do that. State as a map layer. So we've got a dot on each state, and we want that to actually be a circle so that we can provide, oh, not there. Yeah, this one. So didn't mean to do that. All right, so the one that I just added, we want state on detail. We want it to be a circle mark type so that we can manipulate the total size of each dot. For that, we'll take size and drop it onto the size, or drop sales onto size. And then we'll just kind of beef this up a little bit so that people can see it. That's too much. Of course, it doesn't really matter what it looks like now because whenever I put it on a dashboard, the scale is going to change, and that's going to be that. I do know that my circles are black. Are they completely black? They're not washout black. Yeah, they kind of are. Okay, cool. But she also has a white border on those, so we'll go back here to color, black, show the opacity, and the border will be white. Okay, so that's looking good. We'll go ahead and looks like she's got, yep, so we'll do we'll do the tooltip. And what do we got here? Just the name of the state in bold, large type. So it's a 10. We'll make it a 12. And we just have sales. Yep, sales. Everything else looks good. Uncheck our two most unchecked tooltip buttons. We don't want to include command buttons. We don't want to select by category. Okay, we just need to go do the same thing to this. So we will take, oh, and I also need to put sales on that as well so that we have that. Sales on tooltip, open that up. Bring sales up to 12-point font. Uncheck, click OK. And now we've got good stuff here. All right, so there's our map, there's our legend. Subcategory is going to be subcategory, so that's going to be in our product hierarchy, subcategory. Total sales, sort that descending. Now what I'm going to do is I'm also going to take subcategory and I'm going to drag it into the filters card. When I get the dialog box here, I'm going to go over to top, field, top 10 by total sales. So this is going to be a top filter by a conditional filter, if you will, a conditional top end filter for that. There's multiple ways you could have done that. This is just a way. The other way that you could do this, so I'll click apply, and you can see now I only have the top 10 marks here. So that's one way you could do it. The other way is you could create a set. So I can right click on subcategory, go down to create, set, and I'm just going to do the exact same thing, and I'll call this top 10 product. Top 10 subcategories, subcats. Okay. Top, field, top 10 total sales. Now I have that set here. I'm going to drag that set, and I'm going to drop it into there. Now, you might be thinking, why would I ever want to do that? Well, here's why. Filtering is global or sheet specific, right? So when you're filtering, you're taking data out of your analysis. In a set, you're using it, you're still using it, and you're going to use it in different ways, right? So just think about how you want to use, how you're going to be using this filtering. If you're just going to be taking it out, just do a dimension level filter on top or conditional filter. But if you want to use that group of dimensions that satisfy that criteria, and you want to use it in other, if you want to use it in calculations, you want to use it in other views, if you want to make it if you want to make that a separate dimension, that's where a set comes in. Since I'm not going to be using that in any other view. Now, what would that look like? Why I keep saying that, but what would that look like? Well, let's say we had a KPI bar for total sales. Right? Let's put a total sales bar here. So here is the total sales across all things, across all orders, $2.2 million, right? And then we wanted to say, what proportion of the total sales makes up that total sales by the top 10 subcategories? Well, that's where you would use this. So if I drop this set on color, you can see here that, and then I can drop, and then we can do percent of total. Well, you can see right here, we don't need to do percent of total. The top 10 subcategories make up $2 million of the total sales, right? if I were to just do a conditional filter here, which I could have, here, top 10 by sales, right? And I get the same number. But I don't have that other context, right? I don't have the other, right? I don't have the part that isn't the top 10. So, again, that's kind of where you would think to use, do I need to filter or do I need a set? But, so we'll get rid of this sheet since we don't need that anymore. For this, I will just go ahead and use the subcategory filter. So I'll just drag that, command or control drag that over into the filter card, do top 10 by total sales. Click apply. Entire view. Let's see what other kind of formatting we've got. Kind of this dark, kind of this really dark purple. It looks like we also need to put category in the tooltip. And we'll go ahead and change this color here. Let's see, we'll do this. Here is our purples. I don't know what the actual hex code is, but this looks good. Oh yeah, Tim says he's also used index for the top 10. Yes, absolutely. That is another way that you could do the top 10. Absolutely, not a big deal at all. Lots of different ways to do lots of different things in Tableau. Yes, the index is a great function as well. And some people believe that the index function is better than the rank table calculation. So we'll let other people debate that another time. But just know that there are some people who feel that way. So. All right, I'm gonna darken this color, this purple color, a bit, just because it seems a little punchy here. Oh, that looks good. All right, so let's do that. That looks good. What else? Yep. So that looks good. All right, so that looks good. Let's do the same thing for customer name. Customer name. I'm going to drag in sales, and it's actually going to be a text table, so we'll do that. Also, let's go ahead, before we do that, you can see she's got, because Erica lives over in the UK, she's got pounds here, so we'll go ahead and select our default number format. So again, default properties, right-click sales, default properties, number format, currency custom. We don't have any decimal points, none of that. But now I need to get that pound symbol. Let's see. Mac Alt key British pounds. On a Mac keyboard, Shift 3. On a UK keyboard, Shift 3. On a US Mac keyboard, it's Option 3. Okay, so let's do that. So let's go here, and we'll do Option 3. Nope, Option 3. And you got to do it from, and you got to do that option. You have to do your numbers from the numbers at the top of the keyboard, not on the number pad. So if you have a number pad, that won't work. You've got to use the number keys on the keyboard. So just entered that right there. Yep, we'll keep 1,000 separators there. That looks good. Now whenever I drop sales onto text, now I've got my pound signal, my pound symbol, and do that. And then what I'm going to do is go create a calculated field. And what I need to do is I need to figure out what is the latest sales amount. Latest sales amount. And what this is going to be is we need to figure out for each customer, what is the max order date? That's that first part. Then if, so this is going to return a date. if that max order date equals the order date, then return sales, our sales number, end. And we will wrap that all. Oh, awesome. Hello. That is wonderful. Going global. That's so awesome. I got a viewer from Algeria. That's really cool. Okay. So we're going to do this. We're going to go to sum. We're going to sum that. So what we've done here, for each customer, right? So this is a fixed level of detail calculation for each customer. What is the max order date, right? And if that max order date equals our order date, then let's just return the sum. Let's just return the sales from that date. So that's how we're being able to do that. And then we're going to aggregate that to a sum. Double click on that. That will add that to our measure. That'll create a measure names and measure values. As you can see, what we need to do as well is we need to default properties, number format, go to currency, no decimal places, and do the pound symbol again. There we go. All right, so now what we need to do is we need to filter this. So let's right click, filter, top, field, top 10. What are we going to do? We're going to do the sales by sum. All right. Click apply. And then we will sort by the total sum of sales. And look who's at the top. There's a funny story. We're gonna take a little detour. I'm gonna tell you a quick story for all the people if you've never heard this story. So yes, this is my name, to a T. Spelled the same, everything. I know, very high roller, and what we've got is a. So this goes back all the way. I've been using Tableau for 7 years now. My very first training class ever in Tableau, my very first chart that I ever made in my training class was top 10 sales by customer name. And it was so odd. It was so strange. It was a feeling. I'll never forget it because I was like looking around to the people next to me like, hey, make this chart. Because the instructor opened it up by, Tableau is a drag and drop interface. You can, you can't break anything. There's infinite undo. You can't really break anything. So just drag some columns out, make some charts, go see what it is. And so the first thing I saw was customer name. That seems familiar to me. And sales, that seems familiar to me. And then how do I figure out how to sort? Oh, there's this histogram. And then boom, my name right at the top. So I was shocked. And to this day, now every single, as I've been involved in the community and become an ambassador and now a visionary, my name comes up a lot in sales demos and keynotes and all that kind of fun stuff. So it's just a really fun, cool thing. So yes. Anyway, all right, back to this. Back to the fun stuff. Okay, let's just make sure that we've got our latest sales right. So we've got 25,043 and 8. Let's see. Oh, we need to go back. Yep, it's right here. 043 and 8, 7, 131, 1370. Yep, looks good. All right, awesome. And we actually called this total sales. Okay, so here's a fun thing. Here's another thing. So you see how this says sales here because it's called sales here. Here's a fun thing. If you're doing a measure name, measure value, and it only works as a crosstab, and you want to rename your columns here, I want this to actually say total sales, not sales. So I'm going to drag this out so that we get that. So instead of having to go here and create an extra column and all that kind of fun stuff, you can actually right-click on the header and edit alias and just type in what you want it. And look at that. The alias is total sales, but our field name is still sales, which is pretty cool. So that's pretty fun. That's a pretty fun thing to do. All right. So everything looks good here. I think we're ready to start building our dashboard. All right, so we're gonna build this top to bottom here. So the very first thing, if you're building a dashboard, I haven't done a lot of these dashboard I know I usually stop at whenever we get all the analytics done. But for this challenge, because it is a dashboard centric challenge with filtering and that kind of thing, we're going to go ahead and build it out today. So let's see. Do we just 1100 by 750? Okay, let's do that. 1100 by 750. There we go. All right. So very first thing, if you're kind of new to Tableau, or maybe you've never used containers or you're not very familiar with them, this video hopefully will help you out. So the very first thing I do, lots of different ways to do it, lots of different ways that people do it. The very first thing that I do, drag a vertical container onto your blank dashboard. I like to add padding, so I'm going to go ahead and go in here and I add 20 pixels of padding around the entire dashboard. Next thing we need to do, we need to drop a blank inside of that container that we just built. We'll take it out later, but it'll make your lives easier if you put a blank in there to just kind of hold that container's place. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add our title. Let me just make sure that this is actually going in the right place. There we go. Okay. All right. So maybe this is like an 18 book, and we're doing 2022 week 15 filter challenge. How well do you know Tableau's order of operations? All right. So let's do 2022 week 15. Nope, not that. No, whatever. It doesn't matter. How well do you know the order of operations? Okay, so I think this part is going to be like a Tableau semi-bold. This is a semi-bold. Both of these are going to be that dark purple color. This guy is going to be Tableau regular. It's going to be a little bit darker. Yeah. Again, I'm just making stuff up right now. All right, so there we go. Next. So that's our title. There's that. Now, what we see here, let's go ahead and add in our footer here. That's just a text box, and we'll drop it below that blank. And now what we've got is centered, and then we'll do data superstore, pipe, 2022. And then we'll do your name, Mr. Biz Ninja. That looks good. We'll put that there. All right, so now we need to figure out this stuff. So what we can see here is we've got lots of padding fun going on here. So we've got these lines to kind of break up things, and then we've got kind of this dark border around here. So let's go do that. So what we're going to do is if we kind of look at this, you can see that the thing that if you're going to be building dashboards or looking at dashboards and trying to recreate them, you need to think at the highest level, are the things stacked vertically or horizontally? So what you can see here is you've got what I see is a horizontal container that separates these two here. And then within each section of the horizontal, we have a sheet, but then we have a vertical in here, right? And that stacks these two sheets together. So that's how we're going to build this. So first thing we need to do is we're going to drop a horizontal in here, and we're going to drop it right there, because this, you can see this kind of dashed line that kind of tells you where that object is going to be dropped. So you've got dashed lines at the top and bottom. In between those dashed lines is the blank that we used. So now this is the blank, and again, using the layout hierarchy, you can see here we have a horizontal, and then here's our blank, here's our title, here's our footer. The blank, I'm going to move that into my horizontal container, again, just to hold its position for now. All right, so the very first thing we need to do, oh, I didn't see that. So actually this is two. So these are vertically stacked, right? Because this is a sheet and then this is a sheet. So within this blank container, or within this horizontal container that has the blank placeholder in it, we need to drop a vertical there, and we also need to, and that's going to take up this stuff, and now we need another vertical to go in here. And we're going to drop that right next to, we're going to get our dashed line within our horizontal container and drop it right there. This is our blank placeholder. We'll go ahead and put that in this container here. And now what we can do, so this is the larger horizontal container. What we can do is we can actually say, hey, Tableau, distribute these evenly, just like that. Now, we also still need another placeholder. So now again, if we go here and we look, we have a vertical container here with a blank in it. We have a vertical container here with a blank in it. Okay, now we can start. Before we do that, this entire sheet, this entire horizontal container is going to have two things. One, we need to go to Layout, add our background, not a border, a background. And it's kind of this muted putty color here. I think it looks good like that. And we also need to have the, let's see what we're doing here. Okay, so to get this purple line here, to get this this purple line here and here, I think what we're going to do is, so we've got that, and then we've got this. Okay, so what I think we need to do is I'm just going to put a regular container right there. I'm going to color it. The background of that is going to be this dark purple color. It looks weird for a minute. This text box background is going to be white. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, I'm going to drag it in here. So now what you can see is I've got a border, this dark purple border around everything, and that is because of the outer padding of the text box. But I can go in here and I can uncheck all equal sides, and I can turn everything in to zeros except for the bottom one. We'll say 2. What's that look like? That looks pretty good, right? So again, let's talk about how we did that. So we needed a vertical container to act as a placeholder so that we could put the background color in. Then we put in the text box and we formatted the background to be all white. So if you think of the layers, you've got a background here. You've got a background color, background container that's colored purple, and then on top of that we have white. And then what we do is we manipulate the padding to only show portions that we need it to. So we'll do that for our footer as well. So we'll just put a regular box in there. We will format that to purple. We'll take this guy, we'll format his background to white. We will put him in there, and now we'll just manipulate our outer padding. Drop that to 2. And there we go, right? Now, you can also see that there's a little bit of extra padding between the words and the line. So the way that you can do that, one, there's a couple different ways. One, you can take the size of the outer container and we can just bump that up to, let's see what, that's 36. Let's look what 50 looks like. That's not what I wanted. Let's see. Oh, maybe it is. So yeah, so it is what I wanted, but now I have a bigger, because I expanded the size of the outer container, my padding now needs to be manipulated too. So I'm actually going to do, let's see, that's there. What does this do? Nope, not that. Outer padding? Yes. All right, so what we'll do now is we need to actually, now that I'm thinking about it, we'll drop that. We're not going to fix the size, but we will be increasing the, whoop, let's see here. What happens if we do this? Edit height. There we go. So I just needed to edit the height. I needed to edit the height of the text box. So again, how crucial is it? That's up to you to decide. But it's there if we need it. So here, what we'll do here is we'll do 50. There we go. So that's starting to look a little bit better. All right. So now we're ready to start creating our sheets here. So what we'll do here, we have, what do we have here? Let's look. We have our blanks, and within the blanks, okay. So now, I know this is going to sound really weird, but we need to add another vertical container inside of that. And that is going to be white. And it's going to have outer padding. And you can see what's happening. If you can see it, I'll make the background much darker here, so you can see what's happening here. So we'll make this, right? So just for the sake of showing you what's happening here, I'm increasing the size of my padding here to 7 pixels. And you can see that it's actually drawing that border around everything. So then, here's my blank. Let's put that in there. And then we'll just do the same thing over here. Drop a vertical container in there. Change the background of the container we just dropped to white. And then it was, I think, 7. Yeah. Like that. Okay. So that gets us there. All right. Just like that. Okay. Now I'll go ahead and drop my black color back down to that putty color. There we go. And now we can start building. So we have the legend here, map here. See, I told you I was fiddling with the size. Then I said it doesn't matter what I set on the worksheet because when I put it in the dashboard, it's going to look completely different. Because that's the way that Tableau likes to do things. All right, so next we'll put that in there. And then we'll put customer down there. And then we can get rid of our legends here because we don't need those. Get rid of our blank because we don't need that anymore. And let's see. All right, so let's go fiddle with the size now that we've got it on the dashboard. Here, size, drop it down to, we'll start there. What's that look like? That looks pretty good. Get rid of our title. Get rid of these map options. Just get rid of them. They get in the way most of the time. This guy will be entire view. What's this look like? Oh yeah. Edit this title. Sales by state. Use the legend and the map to filter the charts on the right. Sales by state and region. Select region and or state to filter charts on the left. Okay. Let's go back here and we'll go here, label, we'll make this, again, Tableau likes to match mark color, maybe medium. Are they all white? Nope, they're all black. Okay, let's see what that looks like over here. Yep. So we'll go here, we'll change our mark color to this kind of, yeah, one up. What's that look like? Looks like we need to drop down our opacity too. What did we have our opacity set to over here? $49, that's exact. That is really exact. 50. All right, there is 50. Now what happens if we change our automatic? Let's go back to our dashboard. There we go. That looks good. Okay. All right. Now subcategory top 10 products subcategories. Top 10 subcategories by sales. Top 10 products. Okay. Top 10 product. Oh, that's fine. And then top 10 customers. Oh yeah, this needs to be fit width. Yeah, entire view. This guy needs to be entire view. He's already at entire view. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, top 10 customers. Top 10 customers by total sales. Okay. All right. So now what we need to do So we need to get our actions right. Oh, let's see here. If I do, so you can see here she's got a little bit of padding. She's got a little bit of background padding between our two sheets. Nope, that's not doing it. That's yeah, I don't want that. Man, are we gonna have to do that again? Are we gonna have to put a container in each? That seems a bit overkill, but so it goes, I guess. All right, so we'll go here. I don't feel like I should. I don't feel like I should have to, but I don't know. I guess I do. All right, go here. Background colors as putty color. What am I doing here? Yeah, there's that. That one is white. Yeah, there it is. Okay. And then this one here. Background sheet is white. There we go. All right, get rid of our headers, hide labels. There we go. All right, so now we need to figure out our, let's see. Yeah. All right, so now we need to figure out our actions. So we know that this is going to be an action. And we know that this is going to be an action. So now when I select central, it filters the bars, it filters this. That went away. We'll talk about that in just a minute. And it also filtered this, which is good. And then what happens if we go here and we select Missouri, because that's where I live, we select Missouri. It filters down even more, but what happened? Everything went away, right? Our top 10 sales went away. Something is not right with our filtering. So let's go back. All the way back. Now let's go into these sheets. And let's talk about the order of operations. So, Tableau has, if you go search Tableau order of operation and you search images, you're going to get a whole boatload of different images. The very first one, the top hit, is the official order of operations from Tableau from the help.tableau.com. I went ahead and made this bigger so we can look at it, so we can talk about it. So this is how filtering works in Tableau. First, we have extract filters. Then we have data source filters. In our example today, we don't have any of those, so we don't need to worry about them. Next are context filters. We don't have any of those. But then we have sets, dimension, sets, conditional filters, top-end filters, and fixed level of detail calculations. We are using some of those. We are using top-end filters, and we have a fixed level of detail calculation. And then beneath that is dimension filters. And that's what this subcategory is here. And that's what this customer name is here. Right? So what's happening is when we do an action on dimensions, the dimension filters are happening, our sets, our top ends, and our fixed level of details are happening above the dimension filters, right? Meaning, when I select a dimension, central, east, west, south, or any state, my conditional or my top end filters and my fixed level of detail calculations are not being included in those calculations. In order to do that, we have to turn these dimension filters into context filters. So we go here to customer name, add to context. And you see it turns gray. We're going to do the same thing for subcategory. Oh, wait, no. I was wrong. We're not going to do those. We're going to do the actions. Add to context. We're going to add our actions to context. And the reason we're doing that is because action sets act like dimension filters. So, now when we select central, you can see before the latest sales amount was going blank. Let's see if that works over on Erica's too. So if we select central, yep, Tamara Chand, 18437, 18337. Oh, I didn't do the day since last purchase. So I need to add that. I need to add that calculation in there. But anyway, 18437, 18337. So that's working right. Now whenever I select Missouri again, here are the people within Missouri in the central region. Here are the top 10 customers in the top 10. So let's go confirm what's happening with this. And that's what's happening there. All right. So one thing that I don't have is whenever I select a state, you can see that this is also it's filtering out all of the other regions, and that's not what we want to do. So what we need to do is we need to go edit our dashboard actions. Filter 1 is the legend. So whenever I select a legend, it's going to filter all that. And we'll call this legend filter. Filter 2 is our map filter. And you can see here, I'm just going to uncheck legend. So if I select anything on the map, it's not going to filter that. Okay. Map filter. Select OK. On select. Click OK. Now, so what happened? Why did it? What happened? Why did this go away again? I thought we already did that. Well, we edited the action, therefore it created a new action set. So if we go back into the sheet, you'll see a new action, and we need to add that to context, and we need to do that to our subcategory too. So that's why it's really important that you edit those things. All right. Now one thing, let's see what it's doing here. So let's go back, let's do this, do central. So that filters to Texas. It works how I would want to, but what happens if I select south? Does it clear? Okay. Interesting. So what happens if I select south now? Okay. So, and then I select that. So that's interesting. So, and I think that's what I've seen on the community and on Twitter, is that there's some funky things happening with filtering on Tableau Public. But you would expect if I select Texas and then I select south, that selecting south would also clear the Texas filter, right? And that's how it's working in desktop. but that's not how it's working on. So if I select Texas, I get Texas's amount, but then if I select South, it's right. I'm getting my wires crossed. There is no Texas in the South region, so that's why the other things are going blank. But whenever you clear that, it clears everything, which is really weird. So a potential bug has been found. So, but that pretty much takes care of it. We will do a little bit more filtering, or a little bit, not filtering, we'll do a little bit more padding updates to get rid of this extra padding here. And we'll do it here. Oh, there we go. Just like that. And there we go. So that looks pretty good. So there you go. So that's what we've got this week. So lots of fun with filtering. We've talked about the we need to do the days since last purchase. That was the last thing we need. So calculated field, days since last purchase. We're going to use that max order date again. We're going to do date diff and days. The start date is the fixed customer max order date. Close our curly bracket. That's our start date. When's our end date? Our end date is today. All right, and then we're going to drag that out there. Oh, looks like we need to flip that. So a couple of ways you can do that. One, you can do it the right way and flip these around. The other way is to do some funky custom formatting. But we'll do that. What do we have here? 79. Okay. Okay. How do we end up with... When is the last day since last purchase? When is the most recent purchase for each customer? Let's put that in there. Let's put that in tooltip. Okay. Okay. Well then, let's just do, for the sake of this, plus 365. Something weird is happening, but all right. Well, there's something funky missing or messed up here because I may be using the wrong data set. I just picked up and used I think Erica might have used a previous version of Superstore, which might have some different dates in it because Tableau updates the order dates on a regular basis. So I used the most frequent version. So they've got dates in the future in this version. So, but anyway, this will work on your real data. This is just a dummy data set. But so let me talk about how, if we wanted to just kind of fudge these numbers a little bit. So if you go to days last purchase, you can see here it's not just 79 space days, right? So here's something fun you can do with default formatting. I don't want to go and have to figure this out in a way. Let me just do one thing real quick. I'll wrap this in an absolute just to make everything happy so that it's a positive number. I don't want to go have to change this into a text field do some crazy concatenation with string fields and number fields and that kind of thing, right? What would be really great is if I could still have this be a number field and just have days tacked onto the end. And we can do that with default properties number format. So we can go here, we can go to custom. Well, first we'll do number, no decimal places, no units, and then we go to custom. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to do from here, add double quotes, space, days. Just like that, right? So this is still a number field, right? I can still do aggregations on it. I can still do, sum, min, max, average, median, whatever. But anytime I use it, is going to have that days tacked onto the end, which is pretty cool. So yeah, that's a fun thing to do for that. So days since last purchase, we've got that there. Let's go here, and to make this all fit, we will we'll do this, kind of get it all looking right. There we go. All right. So there you go. Now we're good to go. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching this. And hope you learned a few things. We'll be back next week. Next week is my week to come up with a challenge. So that'll be fun. So look forward to that. If you have any ideas or have any suggestions for ideas for challenges, please leave a comment below of what kind of challenge you want to see, and I'll see what I can do. Give me a like, give me a follow, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Twitter, HipsterVizNinja, connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm everywhere. I want to connect more. So, having said that, thank you so much. Have a great weekend. Have a great rest of the week, and we will see you here next week. Go forth and viz.